going to speak quietly because my husband's asleep upstairs in bed still. It's just gone 6:30. It's Tuesday and it's week 3 of quarantine for us. I decided to try and get up a bit earlier today. Well, it's late if it was a normal working day, because for a normal working day I get up at 5:30, but I have fallen into bad habits over the last couple of days, and I've been awake at about 2 o'clock in the morning, and that's leading me to sleep till maybe 9, even getting on for 10 o'clock in the morning and really sleeping in over the last couple of days. So I really need to get myself back in gear. I've not found that I've been bored yet, but I found that I've fell into just bad habits. I've basically, aside from being at my desk yesterday for a little bit of work, it wasn't very much either. I've been sat on the sofa and binge watching Once Upon a Time on Netflix and eating chocolate, and I'm not surprised that that happened, because I think a lot of people are probably going to have dips where you've got the opportunity to sit around and do not very much, and it is a stressful situation, and so it's probably going to happen. And I just didn't think it had happened to me quite this early. I know I said I wasn't concerned about getting bored. I've not been bored. I've not found myself sat around thinking, God, I'm so bored. I've completely enjoyed sitting on the sofa and doing not very much. But yeah, I didn't think I'd fall into the pit early of just sitting around doing nothing. So I decided to try and get up at a reasonable hour this morning and get on with some sort of plan to make sure that I was being productive. And I just want to put it out there. Do not have any sort of worry or feel low if you're not being productive, because this is such a strange time, and I think most of us are going to have like highs and lows. For me, the last few days was definitely a low. I did not move, I did not shower. You can see my hair is really greasy. That is a priority for me today, to get myself showered, clean. I want to put on some makeup just so I have a sense of normality. So do not feel bad if you've had some lows, even if they've been lows that have lasted the whole time and you've not really felt a high yet, because crazy situation. But yeah, I'm going to try and vlog today, my first vlog, to just try and be productive in quarantine. So this is just a plan that I've made to help me keep focus. So hopefully today I am running a little bit ahead of this, so I want to aim to get up between 7 and 8 every morning. And I've left that as a whole hour block so I can be a bit flexible on that depending on how I'm feeling. And you know what, I know people say like screen time first thing in the morning is bad and last thing at night, but it gives me time. If I want to sit in bed on my phone, then I absolutely can. It doesn't really matter. Then the next thing is language training, which sounds far more formal than it actually is. I said in one of my previous videos that I want to spend this time learning a new language, or at least trying to, and that and stretches, which is the next thing on there, are the only 2 things I have consistently done through the last 3 days when I've been pretty much sat on the sofa for the rest of the time. I've been able to get up, do my language training, do my stretches, have my breakfast, and then I've either been doing work as and where I need to, or I've literally sat on the sofa and not moved, with the exception of like getting food for the last 3 days. It's not been good. But no, language training is me using an app on my phone to try and learn some words from a new language, and then I just pop down what I've learned in this little notebook. This pen, who done it? It's from when we did a murder mystery at Christmas, back when people were allowed outside the house. It's not. Then I do stretches, then I have breakfast, and then I go to check my emails and do some shorter work tasks, and then get ready, and then I've given myself time for hobbies, then lunch, some more time doing work, then workout. Chores I put in as a fixed thing. I generally do bits as I go around the house. As I make a mess, I tend to clear them up, but not always. And so I made sure I set some time aside for that. Dinner, hobbies again, a bit of self-care, language training again, and then in the later evening, things that are more recreational. So I wanted to separate recreation and hobbies, just so that the time I've designated for hobbies, I am not just sat in front of the TV watching Netflix, or I'm not just sat playing a game on my phone or something like that. So I've put that separately later on in the evening to kind of wind down. And then I want to be in bed and going to sleep before 10 in order to be able to wake up the next day. Generally speaking, I will have to put in a bit more effort than this that I put in for work, but those are sort of the bare minimum, the essentials. I know I need to be at my desk for potentially work calls and things like that between 1 and 3. That's like a guaranteed, and I want to do this in the morning anyway, but there are going to be a lot of times where I need to be putting in more. This is, as I said, just the minimum. So sometimes hobbies will have to be a shorter period of time or not happening at all to accommodate work. I've just put the bare minimum on here, just so if I'm not working, I've not got downtime where I can fall into bad habits. So that is the plan. We are a little bit ahead of the game today, so that is good. I'm going to start by doing my language training now, which I do on my phone. And at the minute I'm just filming this on my phone, so you won't actually see me do that, but you will see me write up the notes I make afterwards, which at the minute is literally just the words I learn, because I'm just doing single words right now, not really any phrases or anything. I write down the words I learn, what it means in English, and then I also write it out phonetically in English so I can remember how to pronounce it. So I'm going to do that now. Also got a glass of water to keep me hydrated this morning. Language training all done. I didn't actually learn any new words. It was just revisiting previous ones to check that you remember what they are. So I haven't got anything to write in my notebook this morning. So now I'm going to go and do my stretches. I will include this in the video, which will probably be time-lapsed. I am probably one of the least flexible people in the world, but I try, and that's what matters. Not sure how that will have looked, but I'll stick it in anyway. Going to have breakfast now. We are running a bit low on food. We haven't been to do a shop in almost 2 weeks. It'll be 2 weeks on Thursday. Or will it be 3 weeks on Thursday? Not sure. Either way, my breakfasts are down to Morrison's cornflakes. That is where we're at now. I'm having just cereal for my breakfast. It's pretty much all we've got left. We have got some eggs left, but I'm saving them for when I really, really fancy them. I do like scrambled egg for breakfast, or I might make pancakes. So which pancakes do me for 3 days, because I make 6 and then have 2 every day for 3 days. But so yeah, I might keep my eggs until I actually really want them, and whilst I'm happy to just have an easy basic breakfast, then I will be doing that. Breakfast all done. Gonna head upstairs, log on to my computer and do some work stuff. Long overdue shower done. Feeling so much better. Gonna do some makeup now. Dressed already, feeling so much better after having had a shower. Who knew? I needed to get ready, I needed to put my makeup on, I needed to have a sense of normality again. It's just gone 9 o'clock, so I'm about an hour ahead of my schedule that I want to try and stick to. So as far as I'm concerned, if I'm ahead of it, we're doing well. I've just brought down my ring light and my tripod. I'm going to film a video now, but before I do that, it is a
bit of a mess on that table there, so I'm just going to have a quick tidy up, sort that out, and then I'll be ready to film. So the video I'm about to film right now is a 3-month review-ish on my New Year's resolutions, which was the very first video I made and put on this channel. So I'm going to watch that video back and then take some notes about all the things I mentioned then that I now want to talk about. I don't want to overdo this one in terms of the notes. I want it to be quite a natural reaction and just me sort of talking. So I just want to make sure I can remember what I said in the first place and the sorts of things I mentioned within each of my resolutions, just so I can comment about those things and mark the progress, really. So I'm going to take some notes now and then on with the filming. I've just finished filming my video, so I'm just going to tidy up all my equipment and I'm going to upload the footage to my computer just so it's backed up, because I get very paranoid. I don't want to lose the footage and have to do it again unnecessarily. So I'm going to do that and then I will check in with you in a bit. It's currently 10:30, so I should at this point be getting ready, but you know, we've done that. So I am going to now get on with some drawing, because that is one of my hobbies and it's really relaxing. It's a bit of a cheat really, because I can put Netflix on at the same time and watch that. In terms of my artwork lately, I've not been doing too much, so I've been doing a little bit of painting with acrylics. I painted a little baby bumblebee for my sister. She's really into her garden themed stuff and she wanted me to paint her a little picture. By the way, I am not anywhere near like a pro. I literally do this just for the enjoyment of it. I'm quite basic, like I can get the general theme, the general sort of, I don't know, proportion structure of something, but then in terms of realism and detail, that's not where I lie. You know, all the envy of the people that can do like hyper realism, it's the dream, but that is not where my skills lie. But honestly, I do it just for the fun of it. And so I've been doing a little bit of acrylic painting. I've been doing some coloured pencil drawings and then just some standard pencil drawings. I'm going to show you the last two I did. This might come across as a bit odd, but I've decided to combine two of the things that I'm doing at the minute. So that's learning a new language with doing my drawing as a way to help me learn some keywords. So I've decided the language I want to focus on, and a lot of people have asked me sort of why I want to do this. So I want to learn Icelandic. The reasons being, there was a few different reasons. One of them was that I didn't want to learn a language that is one of like the obvious ones that people go to when they say they're going to learn a language. Yes, it would probably be more useful, but I'm probably not going to get to the point where I'm fluent that I'd even speak this language if I went to the country anyway. I would probably not have the confidence in myself anyway. I wanted to do a language that was fairly similar, but with some differences in terms of its alphabet, so you have the opportunity to learn completely new letters that you're not used to using. I didn't want to go to anything that was a completely different alphabet because I don't think I'd have coped with that. So I liked the idea of going for something with a slightly different alphabet, and I've always wanted to go to Iceland, so I thought it was just something that stuck in my head. So I decided I wanted to learn Icelandic, or try to learn Icelandic. So I put together two little sort of boards with drawings on. I've been using the Drops app, and I've only done food so far, and not all food, just some areas of food. So I've done two drawings so far, one for breakfast and one for fruit. I'm a little bit concerned about how the translation comes across, because I've just copied the words as I've learnt them from the app, and if you Google Translate some of them, the words are slightly different, and I don't know if that's to do with different tenses or if pluralizations of the word change slightly. So they're all very similar, but some of them are a bit different. So if anyone knows Icelandic or is from Iceland, feel free to correct any of these things I've done. They are in pencil, so I can correct them, but I'll show you the two I have done so far. So here are the first two drawings I've done. So the one I did first was the one on the right, the breakfast one, so morgunmatur. And then on the left is fruit, ávextir, and that is it. As I've said, you can tell I am not an amazing artist. They are just sketches, but it's helping me to learn the key words, as well as I've shown you already, I have my notebook, and at the minute I'm just working through food and drink, and that's where I'm at. But I'm really enjoying doing the sketches as a sort of consolidation of what I'm learning in the app, and it's just helping to remember. So it's sort of putting two things I like doing together. So I've decided the next one I'm going to do is going to be a baking themed one. So sort of ingredients and tools you'd use for baking a cake. I'm also going to put Netflix on. It's 12:30, so I'm going to get some lunch, so I've got time to make it and eat it before I head on up to my computer to do some work. Lunch is very simple and actually looks a little bit sad. So I've made a cheese toastie because I'm kind of obsessed, regardless of the fact that they are kind of unhealthy. We don't have a toastie maker or anything. I just do the toast in the toaster, stick the cheese on. I also put a bit of ketchup on because that's what I'm all about. And then I put it in the microwave for 30 seconds to melt the cheese. And that's it. And an apple. So that's going to be lunch today. So I've just finished doing some work. I am running a little bit behind schedule now. I was supposed to finish at 3 to go and work out, but it's 3:20 now, so I'm only gonna get changed. I'm gonna work out anyway, so I'll see you in a bit. So I've just done 15 minutes on the elliptical. I'll now do 15 minutes on the bike, and then I'll do a tiny little bit with my dumbbells, but not a lot. As you can see, it's not the most glamorous place to work out, but when you live in a small space, you kind of have to make the most of what you've got. So we just have these in our garage, which is a bit of a dumping ground for everything else. A lot of the stuff I have decluttered, I've ended up putting in here, ready to either donate or sell or whatever it is I do with it. It is a bit chaotic in here at the minute, but I'm gonna finish my workout, get a drink, and then I'm gonna whip around the house and do some chores. You can probably hear the washing machine being really loud. It is doing its thing. I generally have the washing machine on in the background when I've been doing other chores. It's sort of the first thing I do because then it's on and it's doing what it needs to do, and then I carry on with everything else. It's 5 o'clock and I'm just about to start dinner. I wanted to start dinner earlier today because the last few days, as I've said, I've kind of been one with the sofa, one with Netflix, and one with chocolate. So 4 if you include me. There were the 4 of us: sofa, Netflix, chocolate and me. and it would get to like 7 o'clock and I'd be like, I've not even thought about dinner yet. Like, I knew what I was doing because I planned my meals, so I knew what I was cooking, but I hadn't even thought about it in the sense of preparing or anything like that. So it was getting on for 8, maybe half 8 by the time we had eaten, and I don't like to eat late because I don't like to go to bed feeling like my stomach's still full, but that hasn't really mattered because as I've said, I've been awake at like 1 o'clock in the morning still. Really bad habits, really bad routine. So I want to have dinner earlier today, so then if I want to go bed, I'm hoping between 9 and 10 I'll get myself to bed tonight, because getting up at 6:30 this morning was a little bit painful because of the late night I had yesterday. So I'm going to start dinner. I try as best I can to multitask as I do dinner. So because I have been doing the washing up what seems like 3 times a day, because we are just getting through so many pots and dishes with us being at home for 3 meals a day. So in the normal working week, I would have breakfast, usually a bowl of cereals and a cup of tea, so that doesn't really make very much in the way of pots. And my husband wouldn't have breakfast. And then we'd both take our lunch boxes and flasks to work, and then we'd have the pots and pans and plates required for our dinner in the evenings, maybe a glass each for a drink, and that's pretty much it. And now it's 3 meals a day and dishes for all of that, and I don't know how we're getting through so many. I really don't. So normally I would do my dishes as I make the dinner anyway, and so that is what I'm going to do. There just seems to be a lot of them, but I've not done my dishes throughout the day today, so they've kind of stacked up a little bit. I didn't do them after breakfast, and then I didn't do them again after lunch. So dinner, dishes, sorry about the noise of the washing machine. Let's get on it. I was supposed to be, Tuesday, let's look at the board. I was supposed to be doing like a sweet and sour dish with rice. I say dish like I'm really posh. It basically comes out of a jar. It's one of our cheat meals. But you need to really have something in that, like chicken or something like that. And we haven't got any because, as I said, the cupboards are looking a bit bare. We haven't even got any fresh veggies left, but I did chop some up and freeze some when we did our last shop because I didn't want them to go bad in the time between going to the shops, because we're trying to minimize it, we're trying to space it as long as possible, and we're trying to make what we get go a bit further. So for example, in let's say a normal like thin bag of spaghetti, we could usually, because there's only 2 of us, we could probably do 3 meals out of that. My husband has more than I do. And so we're trying to make that go for 4 meals, and the same with just about everything. We're trying to make it just go that little bit further. So we are having smaller portions, but today I'm doing lasagna because I've swapped it over because it's not really going to be exciting having jar of sauce with rice. That's not really good. So we're going to do lasagna. I'm going to do vegetarian lasagna with soya mince. It's not vegan because I will be doing a cheese sauce, and so I suppose I better get on with it. One lasagna going in the oven. all done. Lasagna's in the oven, washing is done, dryer is drying, table is set. So let's have a look at my list. So good. So after dinner and we've cleared away, I give myself some more time for hobbies. So it would probably be a good idea for me to start editing probably the video I filmed earlier rather than the vlog footage. I want to do my language training again, so because I can do that twice a day on the free version of the app, because it gives you more time every 10 hours. And so that's actually worked out quite nice, because ordinarily I won't pay for apps and things. It's not something I really put money into. And to be quite honest, I think if I had unlimited time, I wouldn't use it as well. By having the 2 periods of time, one in the morning and one in the evening, I think it encourages me to work on it for just those periods of time, rather than having a really big block all at once. And I don't know, I might get sick of it. So I think actually doing the free version the way it's all set out is actually really good. So I do it once in the morning and once in the evening. I think I'm on day 21, 20 or 21, so basically 3 weeks. But I like to do that as it's on my schedule quite late, but I like to do it as soon as the app sends me a notification saying I've got more time, because then it will definitely, the 10 hours will have ticked over by the time I want to do it in the morning. So I like to keep my eye on it and do it as soon as it pops up. It's not popped up yet. And then I also need to take my makeup off. Might do a face mask. Feeling that tonight. And then just a bit of chill out time, whether I want to sit and watch a bit more Netflix, because I am kind of addicted to Once Upon a Time again. I've seen it all the way through a couple of times now, but it's been a while since my last watch, like so much so that I've forgotten bits, so I watch it and it's still like a bit of a surprise. So I'm on season 4 of that, which I'm loving, so I'll probably squeeze in an episode before I go to bed and then hopefully get an early night. Language training all done, and that's early, so I can tick that off my list, and then my 10 hours will tick by and that'll be ready for tomorrow. And lasagna's ready, it's dinner time. Yum, 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 yum. Lovely. Vegetarian lasagna, ready to go. Dinner done, all tidied up, cleared away. It is 6:25, so we're doing quite well. I'm gonna take my makeup off. I'm getting a bit oily, which tells me my skin's probably had enough of it for today. I've got my little, what's the word? Reusable makeup wipe, so yay for that. I'm going to use Glossier Milky Jelly Cleanser to take off my makeup, and then I'm going to put the Glossier Mega Greens Galaxy Pack Detoxifying Face Mask on afterwards. And again, this is just me trying to use up some products, so these were the ones that were to hand, so I'm just working my way through stuff. So let's start by getting off some makeup. You can still hear the tumble dryer clunking away downstairs. Must remember to sort all that out at some point. I feel like at this point in the day I can start to take it easy now. Like, dinner's done, the chores I wanted to get done are done. Real work stuff is done now. If I just want to do some editing, that's fine. That's like more of a hobby, so I can get on with that. But I can start to unwind. Ooh, the mascara. I know it's fine. It doesn't matter how much I do this, I will still wake up with like black from my mascara. I just never seem to get it all out, and I know it's because I don't use a proper eye makeup remover, but I just feel like that's another product that you've got to have, and I would rather just use the one and have it almost do everything. that will do. So then that can now go in the wash. I have 3 of these, so I can pretty much use one every day. At the moment, every day I'm using my makeup. I kind of think it is a bit of a novelty. I bought them because, you know, the whole idea of being more sustainable, and so something that replaced using makeup wipes seemed like a really good idea. But I'd stopped using makeup wipes anyway, because whenever I wanted one, there never was any, and I never felt like they actually cleaned your skin. It felt like there was more rubbish left in your skin after you were done. So I wasn't even using them. So this is essentially like the same material as a face cloth anyway, so I could just use a face cloth that I already have. So this was a bit of a novelty. Like, it's not necessary to have reusable makeup pads because you can just use your normal face cloth, but it's sweet. I like to have it, so that needs to go in the wash now. I don't use, obviously, one of those pots with the little spatulas or anything. I literally just chuck it on. Let's go do some editing. And then we can start to unwind a little bit. Right, let's have a look. Just checking YouTube analytics and having a look at what the view difference between my most viewed and my least viewed videos is bizarre. I've got one video that has run away compared to all the others, and it's not one I thought that would do well. I thought it would be one that people didn't really like, so bit weird. But very strange. It's weird to look at now because when I did my very first upload, I didn't publish it at that time because I thought it looked really weird just having one video on your channel. So then I waited till the next Sunday and released 2 at the same time, despite the fact that they were filmed and edited a week apart. And now it just feels so much better to actually have quite a few on here. Well, quite a few for someone who's a beginner. 15 have actually gone out, and then I've got another 4 already scheduled for the next 2 weeks. And then obviously I've got the one I'm going to edit now, and then the vlog. So actually this vlog is 6 videos away from where we are currently. So it's the 7th of April today, but it won't go out if I decide to stick to the schedule. It won't go out until, bear with, the 29th. So yeah, 3 weeks difference by the time that goes out. Anyway, I better get on with editing. I won't leave you watching me for ages with this one because I know you've already seen me working twice today at this very same spot. So I will put a little bit in, but then I will catch up with you when I am done. So it's 8:15. Editing has taken a bit longer than I thought it would, and I ran into a bit of a technical issue. So I finally got it sorted, but I've not finished. It's still exporting on my computer right now, so I've not been able to schedule it yet and upload it. So I've left it exporting because I don't want to sit up there for, it's probably going to take about half an hour. I don't want to sit up there just waiting for it. So I've come downstairs, I'm going to grab a blanket, I think I'll make a hot drink, and I'm just going to have maybe half an hour watching Netflix. I'll pull in an episode of something. It will probably be Once Upon a Time, in which case their episode's 45 minutes. I can't remember. Anyway, so I'm going to end the vlog here. I'm going to spend tomorrow editing it. I think it is going to be a long job because I've taken a lot of footage today. I've never done a vlog before, as you know, so it'll be interesting to see how this goes. Thank you so much for watching and for joining me today. My main reason for wanting to vlog today was, 1, to sort of kick myself back into gear after I had those few days where I was just completely not functioning well at all. I was just stuck on the sofa, and as I said, it was quite enjoyable, but I also think it's a little bit negative in terms of your mental health, because whilst yes you're relaxing, yes you're not pushing yourself, at the same time I had this niggling feeling about how I'm just sat around wasting time, being useless, letting chores build up. And I think even though it can be positive in terms of sort of resting, recuperating, it can also go the other way. It can cause you to think negatively. And for me, I respond mentally very well knowing I've been productive and knowing I've done useful things throughout my day. So today I feel like I've had a brilliant day. I've done so much, and it's not all been work, or it's not all been YouTube, or it's not all been chores, or it's not all been one particular hobby. It's been a bit of a splash all around in everything, and so it's been really great. And I can't believe how long the day has felt like it lasted, with getting up early and getting so much in. This day has gone on forever, and for me that's a good thing. I hate it when your day just goes by and you feel like you've wasted it. So I'm really pleased with what I've done. Hopefully some of you may sort of be inspired to be a bit more productive yourselves if you haven't been and you want to be. That's the important thing. If you're perfectly fine sort of chilling out and looking after yourself and resting and de-stressing, and that's what you want, then do that. Every person is different, and you've got to think what is best for you. If you are a bit like me, and if you do that for too long, you start to feel unproductive and it kind of messes with you a little bit, then hopefully this will inspire you to be productive. And remember, you don't have to be productive every single day. I am not going to be like this tomorrow. As I've said, I'm going to spend the majority of the day editing. So whilst I'll still be being productive, I won't be doing a bit of my artwork and then some chores and then working out and then doing this and then doing that. I will probably get up and do my language, do my stretches, have breakfast. I might not even take a shower. I'll probably just throw some clothes on or stay in my workout gear from when I do my stretches. I'm going to edit all day until lunch, have lunch, continue editing until that vlog is finished. I have a feeling it will take hours, and then probably either work out or do a few chores. I probably won't get both in, and then it'll be dinner, clear up, and then sort of unwind for the rest of the day. So tomorrow will be nowhere near as productive in terms of the variety, because I know I'm going to spend so long editing the video. So do what you need to do for you. I'm not going to say any more on it than that, because we are all different. Do what you need to do for you. Thank you so much for joining me today and watching this vlog. It might be really long. I might have been able to cut it down to a reasonable time. I don't know. I guess you'll know when you watch it. And please also bear in mind that when you're watching this, it might be a couple of weeks after it was filmed. So contexts of everything with the situation might have changed. But thank you so much. I really appreciate each and every one of you that watches my videos and subscribes, and especially those of you that leave me comments. I love to read them. If you've never left me a comment before and you just want to, I love speaking to you guys, so drop me a comment. We'll have a chat. I love it. I honestly really do love it. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much if you're already subscribed. I'm going to stop talking now and I'm going to watch Once Upon a Time, and in a bit I'll check on my video and see what it's doing. But honestly guys, thank you, stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.